Most cruise passengers go home with photos, souvenirs, and a few good stories. But every once in a while, somebody makes one decision so unbelievably stupid that their vacation ends with a lifetime ban, a jail cell, or something much worse. One discarded cigarette probably helped set a cruise ship on fire. One woman survived almost 10 hours alone in the open sea, and 2 drunk passengers reportedly ended up inside a lifeboat and tried to launch it. And somehow, those are only the beginning. These are 12 of the dumbest things real cruise passengers have ever done. And finally, in first place, the ultimate cruise catastrophe. On March 23, 2006, the Star Princess was sailing from Grand Cayman toward Montego Bay, Jamaica, when a single ember changed maritime safety forever. Accident investigators concluded that an unidentified smoker's discarded cigarette was the most likely ignition source on a Deck 10 balcony. The smoldering butt ignited plastic balcony furnishings, and the flames rapidly climbed the ship's exterior, melting partitions and shattering balcony doors. The toxic smoke affected nearly 300 cabins, leading to 11 injuries and the tragic death of 75-year-old Richard Liffage. The disaster forced the entire industry to install balcony smoke detectors, switch to fire-retardant deck materials, and ban balcony smoking. For more incredible true maritime stories, subscribe to the channel. In second place, imagine falling from a cruise ship deck in the dead of night, watching the vessel's lights vanish into the pitch-black horizon. In August 2018, 46-year-old Kay Longstaff went overboard from the Norwegian Star in the Adriatic Sea, 60 miles off the Croatian coast. While the exact circumstances of her fall remain a mystery, her 10-hour battle for survival became maritime legend. Treading water in the dark, Longstaff relied on her core strength from yoga and a highly unusual survival tactic. She sang to herself continuously to fight off panic and hypothermia. Croatian rescuers eventually pulled her from the sea, showcasing a rare, miraculous outcome where mental focus triumphed over the open ocean. In third place, alcohol and heavy machinery make for a terrible shipboard mix. During a voyage of the Pacific Sun, a group of visibly intoxicated passengers reportedly bypassed security barriers and entered one of the ship's lifeboats. According to crew accounts, the severely impaired guests apparently mistook the survival craft for their own cabin. The situation escalated when they began tampering with the release mechanisms, allegedly attempting to operate or launch the vessel into the open ocean. Fortunately, ship officers detected the unauthorized entry and halted the operation before the davits could release the boat. While the incident concluded without injuries, it remains a stark reminder that a lifeboat is not a second cabin. In fourth place, a security breach turned a quiet night at sea into absolute chaos. On July 30th, 2026, while the MSC Divina sailed toward Naples, 6 passengers allegedly bypassed security and gained unauthorized access to the ship's public address system. They broadcast a false emergency message claiming the captain had lost control of the vessel. The phantom alert triggered panic on the passenger decks, prompting frightened travelers to contact the Italian Coast Guard. Upon docking in Naples, authorities immediately boarded the ship. Police traced the unauthorized broadcast to 6 suspects who now face criminal charges under Italian law for unauthorized computer access and causing public alarm. In fifth place, some passengers will risk everything for a few seconds of viral fame. In January 2019, 27-year-old Nick Nadev stood on his 11th deck balcony aboard Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas while docked in Nassau. With his friends filming on smartphones, Nadev leaped from the railing, plummeting more than 100 feet into the harbor below. While he survived the massive impact, he reported experiencing intense physical pain. The stunt backfired immediately when Royal Caribbean security identified the group, escorted them off the vessel, and issued lifetime bans to everyone involved. A fleeting online video resulted in a permanent ban. In sixth place, a routine household possession can instantly spark an international crisis. In December 2025, 69-year-old American grandmother Mary Robinson walked off Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas at Prince George Wharf in Nassau. Bahamian customs officers conducting routine security searches discovered a loaded Kel-Tec 380 pistol and 4 rounds of ammunition hidden in her purse. Robinson claimed she simply forgot the firearm was there, but foreign weapons laws are uncompromisingly strict. To escape a potential 24-month Bahamian prison term, she pleaded guilty, paid an $8,000 fine, and spent several days in the notorious Fox Hill prison before being allowed to return home. In seventh place, a polished social media presence masked a massive international drug operation. In August 2016, Canadian passengers Melina Roberge and Isabelle Lagace boarded the Sea Princess for a 7-week world voyage. They filled their Instagram feeds with glamorous photos from exotic ports, but the luxury vacation was a front. When the vessel docked in Sydney, Australian authorities searched and uncovered 95 kilograms of cocaine associated with the group. The contrast between their travel posts and a multi-million-dollar bust captured global attention, though not everyone in the group shared the same legal culpability. After pleading guilty, Roberge reportedly received an 8-year prison sentence, while Lagace was sentenced to 7.5 years. In 8th place, boarding a luxury cruise requires more than a ticket. It requires actually being who you say you are. In May 2025, Enrico Ronquillo boarded an Alaska-bound vessel departing from Seattle. But federal prosecutors revealed he was not on the manifest under his own name. Ronquillo allegedly used stolen U.S. identity documents to clear embarkation security, then linked another victim's credit information directly to his shipboard account to fund his play in the ship's casino. The high-stakes deception fell apart when financial tracking flagged the fraudulent transactions. He was sentenced to 53 months in federal prison and ordered to pay over $25,000 in restitution. Number 9. Shushing a loud passenger during a cruise show is a common frustration, but aboard the Carnival Magic, it sparked a violent federal case. During an October 2023 sailing departing from New York, Michael Truman was reportedly disruptive during a shipboard performance. When a nearby passenger asked him to quiet down, Truman violently escalated the confrontation. He allegedly smashed a glass cocktail cup directly into the victim's face, continuing the physical assault. The victim sustained severe facial lacerations requiring numerous stitches in the ship's medical bay. Because the violence occurred at sea, federal authorities intervened under maritime law. Truman pleaded guilty to assault, resulting in a 12-month federal prison sentence and a permanent lifetime ban from Carnival. Number 10. A standard port of call altercation is bad enough, but fighting your way out of a Bahamian police station is a massive mistake. On June 8, 2026, 5 American cruise passengers were arrested following a brawl at the Nassau cruise port. Once inside the local police facility, a second struggle erupted. Authorities said a chair was thrown through a glass door, and one suspect allegedly kicked out the remaining glass during an escape attempt. 4 officers were injured, with one requiring hospitalization. The melee resulted in a permanent criminal record and over $52,000 in total fines and restitution. Number 11. In October 2019, a passenger aboard Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas decided that an ordinary vacation photo simply was not enough. She climbed over her cabin's balcony railing, standing on the narrow external ledge to pose for a selfie. Spotting the extreme danger from a nearby cabin, another guest alerted the crew. Security tracked down the reckless traveler and her companion, escorting them off the ship at the next port of call. Royal Caribbean reportedly issued a lifetime ban, proving that a foolish snapshot can permanently revoke your right to sail. Number 12. A cruise ship cabin ceiling is designed to hide air ducts, not millions of dollars in illicit cargo. In March 2025, a vessel arriving from Argentina docked in Sydney, Australia. During a targeted sweep, Australian Border Force officers searched a passenger's cabin. Tucked inside the narrow ceiling cavity and wardrobe, officers allegedly discovered 28 wrapped packages containing approximately 10 kilograms of cocaine. Authorities arrested a 48-year-old Brazilian passenger, charging him with importing and possessing a commercial quantity of a border-controlled drug. While these remain allegations pending trial, the legal stakes are maximum. Under Australia's strict criminal code, smuggling this volume of narcotics carries a potential maximum penalty of life imprisonment. To hear more unbelievable true maritime stories, subscribe to the channel. Across these 12 cases, one truth emerges. The ocean doesn't dilute the law, it magnifies it. A single reckless impulse on board instantly triggers a complex web of federal jurisdictions. Your cabin is never a lawless escape. Subscribe for more deep dives into unbelievable true stories.
The U.S. government has issued active travel warnings for ports your cruise line is still selling excursions at, right now, today. And not one person at the gangway will tell you a single word about it. We pulled every U.S. State Department travel advisory for every major Caribbean cruise, port, matched them against real passenger incidents from 2025 and 2026. What we found will change how you think about every port day you've ever planned. 10 ports, ranked worst to best, real advisory levels. Stay for the final port, it carries a gold checkmark for safety, and it's almost certainly the one you're most afraid of. Worst to best. Starting now. U.S. State Department Advisory. Level 3. Reconsider travel. One level below, do not travel. Your cruise line is docking here and selling excursions with a smile anyway. La Romana has documented kidnapping incidents involving tourists. Not rumors, not forum speculation. Documented incidents that triggered the Level 3 classification. The port perimeter has security, but that perimeter is smaller than passengers assume. Step outside it and you're in Level 3 territory, with zero cruise line responsibility for your safety. The only smart move? Stay on the ship, order room service, watch a movie. This is not a joke. Never get off. Full stop. Jamaica carries a Level 3 advisory as a country. Highest violent crime rate in the entire Caribbean. Multiple robbery incidents targeting cruise passengers were reported at Dunn's River Falls in 2024, not inside the falls, but on the short walk between the transport and the attraction. The cruise line knew the excursion kept selling out. If you sail here, the only remotely protected option is a cruise line excursion that stays inside a verified resort complex the entire time. Even then, weigh the Level 3 advisory before you take a single step off that ship. Never get off independently. No exceptions. Passengers make a critical mistake here. They assume a purpose-built Royal Caribbean port means safer than Ocho Rios. Same country, same Level 3 advisory, same risk. The security bubble extends roughly 200 meters in any direction. Passengers who've wandered beyond the gate looking for authentic Jamaica encountered exactly the environment the State Department warned them about. Worth knowing, those colorful Georgian-style buildings look historic. They were constructed in 2011. Every inch of Falmouth is manufactured atmosphere. Stay inside the gate or stay on the ship. This is still a Level 3 country. The port design changes nothing. Nassau carries a Level 2 advisory. Exercise increased caution. The Bay Street corridor from the dock runs well-organized scam operations targeting cruise passengers. Counterfeit goods, inflated prices, and taxi fare manipulation hit serious numbers in 2024 and 2025. The whole system is friendly-looking and extremely practiced. The genuine crime risk is real, but concentrated away from the main tourist zone. The scam risk is concentrated in the exact areas every tour funnels you toward. The only move that works? Pre-book the Atlantis Day Pass before you sail. Go directly there. Come back. That's your Nassau. Anything else is walking into a system designed specifically to take your money. U.S. territory does not mean U.S. mainland safety levels. St. Thomas carries a Level 2 advisory, and violent crime rates are significantly higher than the U.S. mainland average. Then there's the Jewelry District. Charlotte Amalie is one of the most sophisticated tourist price inflation operations in the Caribbean. Friendly vendors, real-looking certificates, enormous markups against comparable products at home, and zero consumer protection once your ship has left the dock. The smart move? Pre-book a direct taxi to Megan's Bay Beach only. One of the genuinely most beautiful beaches in the entire Caribbean. Come back with time to spare. Never walk from the port independently. Pre-booked taxi only. Every time. St. Martin is two completely different experiences on one island, and most passengers only see the worst one. The Dutch side near the dock has documented port area street crime concentrated between the ship and the shopping district. It looks accessible and tourist-friendly. That's exactly why it catches people off guard. The French side, St. Martin is quieter, far less commercial, and significantly more relaxed. Getting there costs $12 on a water taxi. The smart move: skip the port strip entirely. Water taxi to Orient Beach. Beach, better food, fraction of the crowd. Come back with 2 hours to spare. St. Martin isn't a bad port. The Dutch dock area is. Now you know the difference. No active U.S. travel advisory. Low street crime. Clean, well-run, beautiful water. But Grand Cayman has no cruise dock. Every ship tenders. If weather shifts, and it shifts fast, the entire port day disappears. No compensation. Nothing. If you do get ashore, Stingray City is genuinely impressive. Once. But with multiple ships tendering simultaneously, it becomes a crowded, rushed experience that rarely matches the photos. The smart move? Watch the app from 7 a.m. Only commit once tendering is confirmed. Go on the first tender out. Pre-book a smaller group operator rather than the ship's excursion. Physical danger is low. Financial disappointment risk is very high. Mexico mainland carries a Level 3 advisory in several states. Cozumel is a separate island with a genuinely different risk profile. Experienced cruisers treat it that way for good reason. The problem isn't safety, it's crowd volume. On heavy ship days, 4 or 5 vessels calling simultaneously, popular sites become genuinely unpleasant. Every obvious excursion becomes a mass event. The smart move? Check cruisetimeeatables.com before your port day. Heavy ship day? Skip every obvious excursion. Rent a scooter, head south, eat locally, stay on the island. Ignore the mainland day trip offers completely. That advisory is real. No active U.S. travel advisory. No elevated caution language. No documented tourist crime patterns. Just Willemstad, a UNESCO World Heritage Capital city you can walk straight off the ship into. Dutch colonial architecture in vivid colors. Floating market. Locally owned restaurants with real food at real prices. No excursion needed. No taxi needed. No guide needed. Walk off the ship, follow the waterfront, eat somewhere that doesn't have a cruise ship photo on the wall. Come back when you feel like it. This is your free day. The Caribbean actually works when no one is trying to sell you something at every corner. Say, Colombia, in a cruise group, and watch the fear responses pile in. Passengers marking themselves as staying on board. Warnings from people who've never been. Here's what the data says. Cartagena's historic walled city carries no active elevated U.S. advisory for tourists. Travel safety analysts consistently cite the Old City as one of the safer walkable tourist zones in South America. The fear is almost entirely reputation-based. The reality is fundamentally different. The walled city is extraordinary. 5 centuries of Spanish colonial architecture. Vivid colors on every surface. Street food for almost nothing. Musicians in the plazas. A genuine, lived-in city with no interest in performing authenticity for anyone. The smart move? $8 taxi to the walled city entrance. Walk in. Turn right. Walk the walls. Stop wherever looks interesting. Eat when you're hungry. Leave when you're ready. This is the one port on this entire list where walking off completely alone, no tour, no guide, no plan, is the right answer.